Hi, I'm Ken Casey, the Partnership Leader for Integrated Ministry, and I'm going to provide a quick update on the child well-being reports that have been recently been produced, just as part of our Global Center all-staff meeting. As many of you know, we have been developing child well-being reports for just the last couple of years. 12 of our national offices participated in this in FY11. For FY12, we had 43 national offices participating, and we're expecting that for FY13, all of our national offices will be producing a child well-being report. A couple things I want to say, just kind of putting these in context. As you're aware, we have over the last several years really tightened our focus in our programming around the child well-being aspirations, child well-being outcomes, and the child well-being targets. At the same time, we've also been trying to develop and build an evidence base, which would provide us with data and information that helps tell us how well we're doing in the achievement of those aspirations, outcomes, and targets. And so the building of an evidence base really having probably four primary purposes to it: to help us understand results, to help us improve our programming, to enable us to provide some accountability back to our key stakeholders, particularly the communities we serve, as well as our supporters, and then also provide data that we can use to help influence policy and advocacy at various different levels. So the child well-being report's really a way that we're taking our focus on child well-being and our desire to build evidence and bringing those two together so that we can, in fact, collect evidence and utilize that evidence to improve our abilities to achieve the child well-being targets. A little background on how the National Office reports have been developed. Our global knowledge management team, under the leadership of Eleanor Monbiot, has developed a template for those reports. That template has actually been refined each year from the input received from national offices that have utilized it. So we're continuing to strengthen the format and content of the reports themselves. The national offices have then collected the data and done created their own national office report, reporting on the data, synthesizing the data, drawing conclusions from that data. Then in addition, the Global Knowledge Management Office has produced a single global report trying to summarize and synthesize what we have learned in the individual national office reports. Now, for the first 2 years, the global report is really been focused on process. How well are we doing in the process of creating those national office reports? Beginning in FY13, the global report should be a much more of a synthesis of the results that we're achieving. So we will begin to get a handle on kind of the global impact World Vision is having in impacting the child well-being in the 4 child well-being target areas. What we're finding to date is that national offices are really utilizing the data that they've collected, not only to impact their strategy and approach to their programming, but also the execution and implementation of that programming. And it's been encouraging to see that, once you are collecting the data and thinking about what that data is telling you, that it is actually very helpful in making sure we're as effective and efficient as possible in the programming. So in one sense, the reports are not just producing reports on paper. They're in some ways really changing the way we're doing business around our reporting, around our programming, because they're really sharpening our focus around the child well-being targets. They're collecting the data and doing the analysis of that data to really tell us how well we're doing against those targets. And then that can then be used to help make the changes for more effective programming in the future. It's also, as we've looked at creating an evidence base as kind of part of how we do business within World Vision, through the training provided by Global Knowledge Management with our national office staff, we're really developing some quality skill sets around data collection, data analysis, data reporting that should enhance our ability in the future to have a kind of continuous improvement in our efforts to achieve the child well-being targets. We've made some good progress over the last couple of years. We're still very much at the beginning stages of being able to report and utilize good, solid evidence on our programs, but we're certainly moving in the right direction. And all of the national office reports that have been produced, both for FY11 and FY12, as well as the global report for each of those 2 years, they are all available on WV Central, and I think you'd enjoy taking a glance at those and seeing the kind of information that is available. So thanks for your time, and if there's any questions, we can talk about those at the meeting.